And we're live. Fantastic. Okay, let's get the chat up and let's go from there. What's up guys, macadii here, and today guys, a brand new team building video. Well, what we're going to be doing is having a go at building around Comfey up in Pre-Bank OU. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like down below. I would really appreciate it. I've wanted to use this guy for a very long time, just because it's a little bit niche, but could be quite fun. So what we'll do is we'll start off by explaining the set. I've got a pretty good idea of where I want the team to go. So we can sort of have a chat about that from there. So we have got Comfey with the leftovers. This is going to be like a bulky stall breaker. So should be pretty interesting, but I think it's probably the best way to go with this guy. So we got the leftovers with triage. Now triage is a really nice ability that means all of its Pokemon's healing moves have then priority increased by +3. So that's pretty sweet. So that means your synthesis will be going at priority +3. So you'll always be able to get those going off first against pretty much any other attacking move. I don't think there's any attacking move that has a damaging move that's got priority greater than 3 as far as I'm aware. I mean, maybe Fake Out's probably the only real exception. But anyway, it also has the added effect that because Draining Kiss heals you, and it manages to give all your healing moves have priority increased, it means actually your Draining Kiss has got +3 priority. So you even out-prioritize E-Speed users, which is absolutely crazy. So basically this guy's designed to be there, set up Calm Minds, be difficult to try and take out, and then if they try and bring an offense to try and beat you, then you get your priority Draining Kiss and you sort of zap them from there. It means you also can catch Pheromosa off guard, because everyone thinks Pheromosa, because it's very speedy, will be able to handle this. It can just go for the Poison Jab and take you out, but then you get the priority Draining Kiss and you bop them from there. So that's going to be really fun. We are mono attacking for this one. If you want to have a go with a slightly different set, you could sub Taunt out for him Power Fire. But I really want to try Taunt on this set because it shuts down walls, it stops you getting toxicked. And it just works as a really nice stall breaker slash sort of slow setup sweeper towards the end. So we need to have a think about what we want to have to go along with this guy. And one idea I think fits really well is, considering this is mono attacking, we're going to get walled by steel types, things like Celesteela and stuff like that. We need a way to be able to take those guys on. So I think Magnezone looks to be our best bet here. Being able to trap and kill things like Scizors, as I said, Celesteelas and things like that is going to be very useful. And I can't remember, is Ferroform Bank or Pre-Bank? No, it is Bank, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to go for Choice Specs. Or do we want to go Choice Scarf with this set? Well, we're going to be choiced in some way. Let's go for the Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Hidden Power, Hidden Power Fire, and then we want to have Volt Switch as well. Most likely going to be going Specs, to be honest, but we can always change that up if we want to in a sec. So we're going to go for Max Special Attack at the very least. And as I said, we will come back to this guy and see what we want to do from there. Because we can either go for like a bulkier set with choice specs that's going to hit hard and get, you know, those really powerful choice volt switches off. Or we can go for a speedier set that's going to be outspeeding more of the tier. So I think we'll just have to have a think about how we want to do that. I would really like some speedy mon, and Pheromosa is a very prominent threat in the tier right now, so I think Pheromosa looks to be a pretty good guy to go with this one. We can go for the Life Orb. It does so much damage to offensive teams, it's unbelievable. With U-Turn, Ice Beam, for all the, because Landorus is still, no, Landorus is Bank actually, so we could change that up. We're definitely going to go U-Turn, High Jump Kick, what else do you normally have? U-Turn, High Jump Kick. I always forget what Pheromosa normally runs. Poison Jab, that's it for the fairies. And then we would need one more move from there. So I don't think there's a way that we can actually hit Alolan Marowak hard, which is a bit of a shame. I think all of our moves are pretty useless versus it. As far as I can tell. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any way to be able to take that on. So I think we're just going to go for the either the lunge, lunge isn't bad at all, or we can go for, as I said, the Ice Beam, which helps us take on those bulky ground types and stuff like that. I think we're going to give lunge a go, just to see what that's like, because it does give us the, we still get the speed base beast boost, and we can then stay in and go on from there. You guys think Ice Beam? Okay, we're going to go Ice Beam then. I can't, as I said, I can't remember. I know for post-bank, for bank, Pokemon OU, you definitely want to be having it. But I'm not sure with this one. We want to go max speed with negative and Spadef, because it doesn't matter really which one it is. It gives Genesect the special attack boost, and that's pretty much the only thing, which doesn't really make too much difference. As I said, it doesn't make too much difference. So I think that's what we're going to go for. And basically that gives us, you know, some stall breakers, some wall breaking bits and bobs, which is going to be very nice. But we do need a defensive core, and I kind of want to give the Marowak Tapu Fini core a go again, because I think I had, you know, some fun with it. I think I could do better justice with it than I did last time. Because this gives us some great checks to a lot of prominent threats in the tier, like Mega Charizard X, and also Mega Gyarados, as handled by Tapu Fini. Marowak is able to take on Pheromosa, Tapu Koko, and stuff like that. So I think we're going to give this a go. Flare Blitz, Earthquake. You don't actually get Stealth Rock with this one. That's the only thing that's a shame. Ah, that's it. Ice Beam for Chomp. I knew there was one thing. We are going to go back to Magnezone. Don't worry. I'm not sure exactly what item I want to go for that guy. So that's the main reason. So we could go for a specially defensive set. I think looks to be our best bet. But the question is, do we want to go leftovers or go for the bone? Because I'm just trying to think what moves we would want to run. We would want Shadow Bone. What do we run normally in OU? Because it's basically we just need to get rid of Stealth Rock. Will-O-Wisp, that's it. Okay. So we could still have the Fit Club if we wanted to. And that would double our attack, which still brings us up to 400 attack, which is pretty good. Uninvested, which is, yeah, pretty scary, actually. Considering it has more attack than Pheromosa uninvested. Yeah, I think maybe the choice specs looks to be the best way to go. Tapu Fini, we're going to go for leftovers. With the Misty Surge, actually, I've got a set, I'm pretty sure already, which worked really well. Which had some speed to it already. Wherever that set's gone. Yeah, this is the one. So you got Surf on there because you don't want to bother with School because of how your Misty Surge... Misty Surge basically negates any status from happening. So there's not much point in having Schooled. You might as well go for Surf for a bit of extra damage. We've got Taunt on there to stop setup. Nature's Madness because it halves their HP. And then finally Defog to be able to get rid of things from there. So that's looking pretty sweet. We are a bit lacking in the hazards department, which is a bit of a shame. But to be fair... with pre-bank, it's difficult to get both a defogger and also rocks on your team, so I think we should be okay to be able to handle that. What do we want for our funnel? We do want a wall breaker, and Simple K actually suggested when I was sort of having a chat in Discord with about this that we could go for Kartana. Because Kartana would be a really nice wall breaker to have. It's got, you know, pretty decent speed. 109 isn't bad. And with a Life Orb, we can be hitting like an absolute truck, as they say. So we're going to go for a Jolly Nature with the Life Orb. Beast Boost. So that means we're going to get Attack Boost, which is really nice. Let's see. Leaf Blade. I really want Light Slash, because we're a little bit weak to a load of Marowak at the minute. Like, we got Tapu Fini that switches in, but everything else does struggle a little bit with Marowak. So it'd be nice to have... a way to come in, just Night Slash it, and then it's done. So I think that might be our best way. Leaf Blade, Night Slash. What's its Smart Strike? Steel type, yeah. And then what do we want from there? We could go Psycho Cut, Sacred Sword. I always forget exactly which one's the best ones to go for with Kartana. It's been I don't think I've actually done a team builder with Kartana. That's the thing. We've got a defensive Tapu Fini at the minute, but we can run at max speed if that's a better way to go. But the Magnezone, I think we're going to go for choice specs. And I think we might go speedy specs. Call the Kartana Paper Cut. We can do that. So you think max speed then, Ryan? Okay, we can give it a go max speed. Because that helps you with the taunts, getting fast taunts and stuff. It's almost like a Heatran from last gen. So we can go for that. Marowak's looking good. As I said, we can always change that up for leftovers if we want to. If we worry too much about rocks and stuff. Yeah, Kartana's move pool's stupidly bad. I think it's basically between Sacred Sword and Psycho Cut. I guess Psycho Cut helps me versus Mega Venusaur, which my team would struggle a little bit against, so I would probably go for that. Yeah, we are a little bit weak to ground, but I just want to give it a try and just see. Because Magnezone plus Comfey seems to be a pretty good option to go for. This is going to just be for non-Pokebank, so regular OU. So let's just give the team a go, I think. So I don't know what investments really go for with our Magnezone. Some HP investment would be really nice. Let's have a look. So what would base 70s look like? So let's have a look. What's... Oh, it's not going to do all the bank ones. Okay, let's just go for... We could just go for the OU standard, which was 72, I'm pretty sure. What was the Smogon standard set? I know this is back in OU times, but 88 speed with 168. We'll just go for something like that. We can always perfect it as we go on. So I think we're going to go for that with the rest of it in HP and sort of go on from there. We'll just see how the team goes. As I said, we are a little bit weak to ground, but we can give it a go. Let's go OU, and let's have a look for a couple of battles. Okay, good luck, have fun. This is looking like a team where Pheromosa lead looks pretty sweet. So I think we're going to lead Pheromosa here. Leads off with the Marowak. That's a bit unfortunate. We are going to U-turn. And I'm going to go into my Finny. Yeah, is there such thing as a Tapu Lele counter? I really don't think so. We could just fire off a Surf here. I think that looks to be our best bet for the time being. We can always taunt if he wants... Okay, it's Tapu Lele. Okay. Tapu Lele, you're horrible, horrible thing. I want to keep this around because it helps check the Chomp, helps me with Clefable, and also the Celesteela. So, yeah, Tapu Lele is even scarier in this tier than it is in post-bank. Because I've been mainly playing post-bank, so I'm just trying to get into a bit of pre-bank as well, just for fun. But, yeah, Tapu Lele is a pretty scary thing, because I don't think Magnezone is going to be able to take a hit from that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to take a hit. So what is not looking good? I mean, Katana looks pretty sweet, actually. Once we get rid of Celesteela. So I do want to keep Magnezone around. Comfey. You don't have any Electricize. To be honest, I'm thinking Marowak might be my best sack here. Goes for Shadow Ball. Blimey, I actually took that a lot better than I thought. But we are going to die to the next one. So I am just going to fire off a Shadow Bone here. As that is going to take us out. Okay. What's our best bet? I could go into the Kartana here. I'm a little bit worried that this is Scarf, but it's kind of got to risk it, I think. Actually, with how much little damage that did to the Marowak, actually, I think now I may have made a mistake. Let's go for the Smart Strike. He does switch out. Goes into Garchomp. Okay. We should still do it. Yeah, we do a nice chunk. Rough Skin Rocky Helmet is going to really suck, though. Oh, no, he's not got the Rocky Helmet. Okay. Are you going to be a Scarf dude, though? Replace Kartana with Mandibuzz. Ground type immunity and good for Marowak. That might be a good shout, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a ground immunity on this team because, especially with Magnezone around and stuff like that, I think it works pretty well. I think we're just gonna have to hope. I don't really like to because I have my gut says he's gonna be Scarf Chomp, and I really don't like that. Though Pheromosa can take an Earthquake, so that's good. Or do we just go for the Comfey option? I think we're going Comfey because I can take it. Goes for Firefight, even better. Okay, I think you're Scarf, most likely. From the way you've played that, I'm pretty 99% sure you're Scarf, so that's pretty sweet for us. I do really want to go into Magnezone here, predicting him to go into Celesteela. But on the other hand, he could also be going to Marrow. And Marrow would still be a bit of a pain. Comfey, I think, should be able to take on Marrow. I think. Oh no, you've not. Yeah, you've not got the what's-it-called. So the other option is the Tapu Fini. Yeah, the only problem is it does make my team a bit weaker to Lele. Lele is such a big threat. I think we have to go... I really want to go Magnezone, because if we can get rid of that, it's going to make Comfey's life so much easier. I think we're going to go Mag. Yes, okay. And I'm just going to go for... I don't know if a Volt Switch is going to kill is the problem. I really doubt it, considering Celesteela is so fat. Magnezone. Yeah, I have to even Thunderbolt to be able to kill. So I think we're going to go for the Thunderbolt. We are going to lose some initiative, but Magnezone's kind of done a good job there, being able to take that out. He will be able to go into either Marrow or Garchomp here. But then we'll know exactly what he's going to go for. Out comes the Marowak. To be honest, actually, Magnezone is still really useful. I'm going to go Tapu Fini this time, I think. Goes for Boomerang, misses. Okay, that's pretty sweet for us. And we're going to go for the Surf. Out comes the Tapu Lele again. This is a tricky one, because Magnezone would be a nice switch if he's not going to be going for the Shadow Ball. If we think we can take a hit, but I'm not sure if we can. Offensive Celesteela instead of Kartana. I'd definitely be up for potentially switching that out. We just got to be a little bit careful of that Mimikyu. Keeping Clam Chowder around would be nice for the Garchomp. So what's the Marowak looking at? 78%, okay. I think my best bet here is to probably go Mag, because I need to keep this around, and I'm going to hope that Mag can take 2 hits. Ah, even better. Okay, brilliant. And overall, I think Flash Cannon just looks to be my best bet. We'll still do a decent chunk to Marowak, and we can outspeed next turn, so that's not the worst thing in the world. Out comes the Marowak. Sweet. And I think I just want damage on this Marowak. I should outspeed this unless it's an offensive, like speedy offensive, but most of the time that's going to be either Spadef or like a bulky one. So I'm just going to go for the Flash Cannon here. Goes for Flare Blitz, that's fine. And he's going to take himself out. Brilliant, okay. Well, I've got to switch to Garchomp, and I can put the pressure on the rest of his team. So I'm just going to go Pheromosa here. Out comes the Clefable. It's looking like Comfey has a chance to sweep now, but I just have to be a little bit careful with this. I can actually U-turn into Tapu Fini without too many repercussions, so I think that's probably my best bet. I'm going to keep the Pheromosa, because I can stop the T-Wave from there. And I can take that like a champ, so that's great. Now, the question is, do we want to taunt? Or do we just want to go for a Surf, predicting the switch? I think we're going to go for a Taunt here. Yeah, he's going to stay in. Is he going to Stealth Rocks? Okay, he's going to try and Calm Mind on me. So that's good. Stopping that's really nice. I am going to go for Nature's Madness here. Oh, of course. Here comes my luck. I'm going to Nature's Madness again. Out comes the Lele. We are speedy, so if this is Specs, most of the time they're max HP, so I think I can just stay in and just go for a Surf here and take this out. He is max speed. Okay, I've been a while since I've seen a max speed Specs Lele. That's okay, we're fine. We can still handle a Scarf Jump. Out comes the Mimikyu. That puts me in a tricky position. I think I am just going to have to Surf here to break this disguise. He goes for the SD. I'm going to taunt. Maybe I should have taunted first, thinking about it. Goes the Play Rough. The Psychic Terrain's still up, though. And I think that Kartana will be able to take this out. So that's no problem. So I'm going to go Kartana. And I'm going to go for the Smart Strike. Yep, the Psychic Terrain. That's why you wouldn't want to do that. Focus Sash. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Did not expect a Focus Sash Swords Dance. That's a pretty cool set, I must admit. Name the Pharaoh Ugly. What's the Pheromosa Ugly? We can go for that. I mean, we might take a sneak. I don't know, because we got decent physical defense, haven't we? Yeah, pretty decent. We might as well try. We've also got Comfey in the back, so it's not the worst thing in the world. So I think we're going to go for the... just go for another Smart Strike. He is going to let us take him down from there. That's certainly an interesting play. But I will take it. If Comfey got Skill Swap, that would be hilarious. So I think overall, Pheromosa is looking the least useful out of these two, because at least Kartana can still handle like an Outrage or something like that, or a Dragon move, and also hit the Clefable really hard, whereas Pheromosa does not hit either as hard, I think. And I think with Comfey, I should be okay. So I think we're going to sack off Pharaoh here. He is the Fire Fang, that's fine. Now I go Comfey. And I go for the Calm Mind. Comfey equals Wincon. Yeah, it is a Wincon right now. Because I can taunt the Clefable, I can stall it out, and I can get my Calm Minds up, and I think that's game. How are we doing time-wise? I'm a little bit pushed for time today, so we are going to have a pretty short stream, I must admit. But, yeah. Okay. And I'm going to go for the taunt. Sweet. Starts to heat up some calm minds. And he's going to forfeit from there. Absolutely great. Okay. So you guys were suggesting to switch out Kartana, was it? Let's have a look. Let's see. You guys are saying that potentially get rid of that for Mandibuzz. Let's see. So we could change Kartana out for Mandibuzz if we wanted to. Let's see. So the advantage of having Mandibuzz, it would give us a ground immunity. It pairs pretty well with Marowak. But we do lose a significant amount of power on our team. That's the only thing. Okay, so you guys are thinking getting rid of Magnezone. Okay, so we'll go for drop Magnezone for Mandibuzz. Yeah, let's get rid of we'll get rid of Magnezone. Because we can still handle, we can still put pressure on fire type, steel types pretty well with this team. But we do need one more mon to be able to replace that. Okay. We can go for Celesteela, I think. Do we want an offensive Celesteela or do we want a defensive one is the question. So offensive one's quite fun. So we could go for like a leftovers with Beast Boost, with Air Slash. Can you call the Comfey Satan? We can go for Satan. That's no problem. Air Slash, Flash Cannon. What was it? Autotomize and Flamethrower. $252, $252. Modest. Cool. And we'll put 4 in Spadef from there. Cool. Let's give it a go. I do enjoy a little bit of fun Celesteela. And let's see how it goes. Okay. Oh, someone else knows the power of Comfey. Good luck. Have fun. Okay, so we've got some interesting stuff. Decidueye shouldn't be too much problem with the team. Let's see. Paper Cut is looking pretty nice, I must admit. I'm a little bit tempted to lead off with Paper Cut. Flare Dancer for Marowak. I love that. Yeah, Kartana's not looking too shabby. So the question is, do we just want to lead Kartana? Because we actually have a fairly good matchup against pretty much his team. We can Psychic Cut that. We can Smart Strike. And we should be able to do a decent amount. Okay. Alchemist Stab Coca, that's fine. We've got our switch in. That's okay. That was the only thing that would have been a shame to match up against, but we can handle that. Volt Switch, that's fine. And we can either just fire off some Shadow Bone for some damage, which I'm actually inclined to do, because I think he's going to go Tapu Fini. Yeah, out comes Tapu Fini. That's some nice damage to pop on there. So we could go into our Comfey and actually start trying to... no, because he's probably going to outspeed us with his taunts. That's the only thing. I don't want to go straight Kartana. But on the other hand, we could go Comfey and then pivot into Kartana from there. I think that sounds pretty good. So we go Comfey. Take this... why would you... why do people run Schooled on this thing? I have no idea. Anyway, he's probably going to be going for the taunt here. So we can go straight Kartana now if we want to. You're not going to go for a Scald. It is resisted, but I know I'm going to get burnt if I go into this. Decidueye comes out. Now, I don't know if you're going to live this. Decidueye versus Kartana. Because a Smart Strike does a lot to a max HP set. But it's Night Slash. With the Life Orb. Has a good chance to kill the Decidueye if it's just max HP. I think I'm going to go for it. He does. We do get a lower roll than I wanted, but we can take a Spirit Shackle pretty well. Okay. And now what I can do is I can just fire off. Probably my best bet here is just a Leaf Blade. Let's see. So Night Slash. Or we just go for the Smart Strike. I think Leaf Blade in case he wants to go Tapu Fini. Out comes the Comfey. I'm not going to fall for your shenanigans, Comfey, and you're going to take a whole load of HP. That's great. Okay. And he's going to forfeit. Okay, that's fine. We'll go for another one and go on from there. So maybe switch EQ for Boomerang, breaks potential slashes. The thing is, it's that 90% accuracy that makes me move. Oh, what is this team? Oh, God. Okay. You are probably going to lead a Gliscopod here, knowing what this thing is all about. Celesteela is going to be pretty nice to check the Mega Pinsir. If you give the chance to ruin you with RNG, it will. Exactly. I don't trust it enough. I think we're going to go for what we've got. So he could be leading off with a Gliscopod. If he wants to be cheeky and do all of that shenanigans. He could also be leading off with this guy to Poison Jab us. Interesting full bug team. Which is very strange. 90% accurate is 9% accurate when you're Macadii. Exactly. He actually is missing one as well. Oh, goodness. But it's looking like Celesteela looks pretty sweet. I want to keep Marowak around because it helps check that. Let's lead off. See, Pheromones has got an okay matchup. He's going to have the Sticky Web. But it's just whether he leads up with this guy and he starts firing off some poison moves. So that's not going to be fun. Whereas if we just U-turn with Pheromones, that'll be fine. I'm going to lead Tapu Fini because I can at least taunt something. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay. I'm just going to Nature's Madness you. You're going to First Impressions me and do like 2. Well, I'm going to take 50% of your health off and you're going to Emergency Exit, so get out of that. Oh, he's red carding me. Okay, that's certainly interesting. That's not something I've seen before, I must admit. Out comes Sizzle. I can just go straight into Marrow. I'm just going to go straight Marrow. Goes for Bullet Punch, that's fine. And now we just fire off a free Flare Blitz. Or we can even Willow if we wanted to, but I just want damage. Yeah, because out comes Mega Pinsir, and we're just going to destroy that. It's Guzma's team. Okay, I haven't... Sounds really weird. I haven't actually seen... I haven't actually played Pokemon Moon yet, so I actually don't know about that. Oh, goodness. So the Masquerain is out. I want to keep this around for Mega Scizor, so I am going to be switching out. Most likely Tapu Fini looks to be our best bet, because we can defog, we can taunt you if you're going to be Quiver Dancing. It's a setup counter, I guess. Yeah, and it gives you a good matchup, but I still don't think it's particularly great. The other option is we can just go Celesteela if we wanted to and just fire off an Air Slash. I quite like the look of that, being able to take out the Masquerain, whereas Tapu Fini, we still have to worry a little bit. And we can still handle Gliscod then. Goes to Air Splash, that's fine. I don't really need to get any speed going, so there's not much point in that. I am just going to go for the Air Slash here. Goes to Ice Beam. Still doing a decent chunk, but we are going to blow that back, and I think that's going to be it. You bought them too, have you, Ryan? I've played like 2 hours, something like that. Out comes Gliscod. I mean, you're going to be slow, and I outspeed you anyway, so I'm just going to Air Slash. If you want first impressions me, why do people just use this just for first impressions? Oh, goodness. Out comes the Ariados. I'm just going to Flame for you. I don't trust the accuracy of Air Slash. Goes for Sucker. And that is going to be game from there. How are we doing time-wise? Okay. And we're going to take out the Scizor from there. Okay. GG. We've got time for one more game, I think. And then I am going to have to run, unfortunately. So let's just go for one more match and then see from there. Unfortunately, we won't have time for viewer battles. But don't worry. At the weekend, we will definitely be doing some viewer battles. Okay. This is certainly an interesting team. Good luck. Have fun. I do kind of want to lead off with, Pheromosa, in case he wants to lead off with, potentially the Alolan Persian. Though he could be leading off with... I don't want to get caught in that position again with Marowak, because that's not going to be fun. Mega Aerodactyl is going to be interesting. But we do outspeed Mega Aerodactyl with Pheromosa, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, if only Gliscod was good. I think it's not particularly great. Remind me what Comfey did. It didn't do much that time, but the last one it actually did. It did put in work in late game. Okay. I'm going to leave Pheromosa in case he wants to lead off with one of his pivots, like the Alolan Persian. That's great. Yeah, once we get rid of the Marowak, we should be pretty good. With, Celesteela. So I'm just going to U-turn here. Unless you're going to be a cheeky Scarfer, which you're not. That's going to be great for us. So the options are, we could go into Kartana here if we wanted to. I don't really want to do that necessarily. I think maybe Tapu Fini looks to be our best bet. I don't know how much would Kartana do to a Marowak at max HP. Let's see. Night Slash does a lot less to Marowak than I thought it was going to do. That's disappointing. So we wouldn't be able to kill, so there's not much point doing that. I think we are going to have to go into Tapu Fini, and we're just going to fire off probably just a Nature's Madness, get some 50% damage off and something. So let's fire off a Nature's Madness. This is pre-bank, so we won't have rocks on this Marowak. Let's see what he decides to do. I'm interested to see what he's going to go into, because I guess he could go into his whatchamacallit. No, he goes to Decidueye. Why do I even bother? Oh goodness. Okay. That's really annoying. The most annoying thing, because getting half damage on that Decidueye would make my life 1,000 times easier, because now I've got to try and take a Leaf Blade with something. And I don't want to just go straight Kartana, because it doesn't even kill. That's a really painful miss. Oh, that's so irritating. It's like we don't have the best switch this at the best times. And even if it was at half HP, we could have taken a hit with Kartana and then just gone for a Night Slash from there. Oh, he did end up leaving. Okay. Well, I'm just going to wait that out. That's certainly an interesting point to leave, but anyway, I don't know. I have no idea. So we'll just check. Unfortunately, Zachary, I'm a little bit pushed for time today. I did want to do a stream though, which is why we've got one out here, but we will be streaming a lot more at the weekend. I'm also going to be doing a lot of recording for over Christmas. We'll have a few sorts of fun Christmas themed ones over then, so don't worry, you won't miss out on any content during that time. And then I might get my computer set up at home, so I'm going to be home between, when is it? I'm leaving on Thursday next week, and then I'm going to be back up here at the end of New Year. But I'll probably do a little bit of streaming around New Year, because I'm going up to Ryquin and Richie's place, so we might get some streaming in there, I don't know. But anyway, by the looks of things, he is going to be going from there. So, as I said, unfortunately, I am a bit pushed for time today. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys at the next one. macadii out.